أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي يخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. صدق الله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن فاطمة الزهراء عليه السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم قالت دخل علي أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله في بعض الأيام فقال: السلام عليك يا فاطمة. فقلت: وعليك السلام. قال: إني أجد في بدني ضعفا. فقلت له: أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال: يا فاطمة ائتيني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به وسرت وانظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسن قد أقبل فقال: السلام عليك يا أمه. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال: يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله، يتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء. وقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحبي عودي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء فما كانت إلا ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمه. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أماه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جداه، السلام عليك يا من اختار الله، يتأذن لي أن أدخل معكم تحت الكساء. فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب عليه السلام وقال: السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. فقلت: نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ وقال له: وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وسي وخليفته وصاحبي لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء، ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت: السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ وقال: وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بدعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء، فلما اكتمل جميعا تحت الكساء، أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرف الكساء وأومع بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال: اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحمتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يعلمني ما يعلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم، وسلم لمن سالمهم، وعدو لمن عاداهم، ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم. فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل: يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت سماعا مبنيا ولا أرضا مدهيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال العمين جبرائيل: يا رب، ومن تحت الكساء؟ وقال عز وجل: هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل: يا ربي، تأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض ليكون معكم سادسا؟ فقال الله: نعم، قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك: وعزتي وجلالي، إني ما خلقت سماعا مبنيا ولا أرضا مدهيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله: وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله، إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء، فقال لأبي: إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول: إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال لي علي عليه السلام يا إذا والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. وقال أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا ففيهم محموم إلا وفرج الله همنا ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمنا ولا طالب حاجتي إلا وقضى الله حاجته. وقال علي عليه السلام يا إذا والله فزنا وسودنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسودوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة.
بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات. فضائل کے حوالے سے مولا عباس کے کلام کے چند اشارات کی نظر کریں گے. مل کے بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات. پوچھئے زینب سے کتنے معتبر عباس ہیں.
پوچھئے زینب سے کتنے معتبر عباس ہیں.
پوچھئے زینب سے کتنے معتبر عباس ہیں. سیدہ سے سن چکے میرے پسر عباس ہیں. سیدہ سے سن چکی میرا پسر
عباس ہیں.
یوں تو کل انصار شہ کی عظمتیں اپنی جگہ.
یوں تو کل انصار شہ کی
عظمتیں اپنی جگہ. عظمت کردار کی حد نظر عباس ہیں. عظمت کردار کی
حد نظر عباس ہیں.
انگلیوں پر جیسے در خیبر کا تھامے تھے علی.
انگلیوں پہ جیسے در خیبر کا
تھامے تھے علی. پانی چلو میں لیے یوں نہر پر عباس ہیں. پانی چلو میں لیے یوں
نہر پر عباس ہیں.
جیسے حیدر تھے بلا فصل احمد مرسل کے ساتھ.
جیسے حیدر تھے بلا فصل احمد مرسل کے ساتھ.
ویسے ہی شبیر سے نزدیک تر عباس ہیں. ویسے ہی
شبیر سے نزدیک تر عباس ہیں.
تھے علی مرتضیٰ دروازہ شہر علم کا.
تھے علی مرتضیٰ دروازہ شہر علم کا،
کربلا کے شہر قربانی کا در عباس ہے، کربلا کے شہر قربانی
کا در عباس ہے۔
جو اندھیری رات آئی کربلا میں دین پر،
جو اندھیری رات آئی کربلا میں دین پر،
اس اندھیری رات میں نور سحر عباس ہے، اس اندھیری رات میں
نور سحر عباس ہے۔
بے کسوں کا حوصلہ ہے ذات عباس علی،
بے کسوں کا حوصلہ ہے
ذات عباس علی، چشم زینب ہے اسی جانب جدھر عباس ہے، چشم زینب ہے
اسی جانب جدھر عباس ہے،
چشم زینب ہے اسی جانب جدھر
عباس ہے۔
جن کی شاگرد برحمت علی محمد صلوات ادھر عباس ہیں۔ آخری شعر پیش کر رہا ہوں۔ پیاس نے پانی کو جب رد کر دیا تو یوں لگا،
پیاس نے پانی کو جب رد کر دیا تو یوں لگا،
جیسے ترک نفس کی معراج پر عباس ہیں، جیسے ترک نفس کی معراج پر عباس ہیں۔ مل کے بر محمد والے محمد صلوات۔ میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے، پڑھ دیتے ہیں، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے دوسرے۔ اسلام کے حوالے سے چند اشارات کی نظر کریں۔ مل کے بر محمد والے محمد صلوات۔
اللہم صلی علی
مل کے بر محمد آل محمد صلوات۔
اللہم صلی علی محمد۔
میں کیسے اٹھوں آقا، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہیں، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہیں، میں کیسے اٹھوں آقا، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہیں،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
پاؤں نہیں چھو سکتا، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہیں، میرے
ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
آقا یہ غلامی کا صلہ کیسا دیا ہے، ارے کس پیار سے سر آپ نے زانوں پہ رکھا ہے، اٹھ کر سلام کرتا، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہیں، میرے ہاتھ
نہیں ہے،
جو ہاتھ تیرے کام نہ آئے میرے مولا، اور بچپن میں ہی کٹ جاتے تو ہوتا بہت اچھا، اور تم ان کو نہیں چھونا، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہیں، میرے
ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
آزائے بدن تو ہو تو پہ کر نہیں ہوتا، نازور پہ گھر والا بھی مضطر نہیں ہوتا، گھر مجھ کو نہ لے جانا میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
آقا میں ہوں شرمندہ میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
گودی میں سکینہ کو، گودی میں سکینہ کو اٹھاؤں گا میں کیسے، اور کس طرح نبھاؤں گا غلامی کے طریقے، یہ کم تو نہیں صدمہ میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میں ضامن چادر تھا، میں ضامن چادر تھا، محافظ تھا حرم کا، اب زندہ بھی رہ جاؤں تو کیا فائدہ آقا، زینب کو بتا دینا میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
جب زی سے زمین کی طرف آنے لگے مولا، نہ کوئی مددگار تھا نہ کوئی سہارا، اس وقت خیال آیا میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
آقا میں ہوں شرمندہ میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
جب زی سے زمین کی طرف آنے لگے مولا، نہ کوئی مددگار تھا نہ کوئی سہارا، اس وقت خیال آیا میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے،
گودی میں سکینہ کو، گودی میں سکینہ کو اٹھاؤں گا میں کیسے، اور کس طرح نبھاؤں گا غلامی کے طریقے، یہ کم تو نہیں صدمہ میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے، میرے ہاتھ نہیں ہے، بر محمد و آل محمد صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم۔
Assalamu alaikum mu'mineen. Just a couple of housekeeping announcements. First, I would like you all to come forward to make room for other mu'mineen and mu'minat coming later during the majlis. Ba'azib lan salawat. As you all know, the center runs on you guys, and without it we would not be able to run this Ashra or have these majlises. So I encourage you all to please donate generously. We still have spots open for sponsorships, so if you would like to sponsor a majlis, you can get in contact with any auntie on the ladies' side or Abid uncle on the men's side. Just wanted to let you know that these majlises will not be ending during the 10th. They will keep going until the 8th of Rabiul Awwal. So this Azadari won't end, and we require your assistance to make it go smoothly. So with a loud salawat, I would like to ask you all to please rise as I invite Al-Malana to the minbar. Wazib lan salawat.
ما شاء الله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. الحمد لله الذي مبدع الأنوار ثم مؤلج الليل في النهار. العزة لله الملك الجبار الواحد الأحد الصمد القهار. والصلاة والسلام على آل الله الأبرار محمد وأهل بيته الأطهار الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أما بعد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تعلم أن الله له ملك السماوات والأرض وما لكم من دون الله من ولي ولا نصير. Mu'mineen, mera sharaf to look upon your bright faces and continue our discussion on mulk and malakut and the authorities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to various beings based upon their amanat, their trustworthiness, their humbleness, their ability to perform Allah's duties despite having magnificent power. With power comes a lot of ethics. Abuse of power is very, very easy to do. When we gain a little bit of authority, we start to abuse others. You will see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just a little bit of power, and we think now we can crush everybody around us, a little bit of status, and we think we are now number one. That was exactly what was manifested by Iblis. When you look at Iblis, what you see is that there's a jinn, and this jinn is someone who had been alive for thousands of years. When the nation of Iblis came under punishment from Allah because of their transgressions, He destroyed all of them, but He kept Iblis alive. He was the only one that survived from his nation. One might think that he survived because he was good, but sometimes people survive because their evil has not yet been exposed and they have more evil to do. If you look at the battle of Siffin, you will see that Amirul Mu'mineen at one point said or rather the battle of Nahrawan, you will see that Amirul Mu'mineen said, when they said that there's too many of them and there's not enough of us, and Amirul Mu'mineen said, tomorrow I will fight in a way that not 9 of mine will be killed, not 10 will be killed, and not 10 of them will survive. And that's what happened. 9 were killed on this side and 9 survived on that side. And the 9 that survived were all of them present in Karbala in the army of Yazid. That means sometimes you leave evil so that it will continue to do what it does, so that testing can be done. That means that, of course, Karbala was going to happen. It was a test. It was meant to happen. In the same way, Iblis's test was meant to happen, and Iblis was going to fail. Allah knew he would fail, but He arranged for our testing as well. If Iblis was not present, then who would we blame for all of our things? We always say, oh, shaitan ne karwa diya. And sometimes it is shaitan, sometimes we ourselves are the shaitan. But what happens is, right, look in Ramzan, I don't know what happens, shaitan is supposed to be locked, but in Ramzan we see still a lot of things happening. So that means that it's not just shaitan, there's also our own nafs. Okay, if Iblis is tempting everyone, then who tempted Iblis? Iblis is sitting in Jannah, right? Allah calls him to Jannah because Iblis is doing so much worship, and He says, okay Iblis, now you'll come to the first level of Jannah and you will do worship here. Now Iblis is worshipping with the angels. Iblis himself says in a narration that he spent 7,000 years on the first Jannah. Then Allah took him to the second Jannah where he spent another 7,000 years. Then the third and the fourth, and each level of heaven he reached the seventh level. That means 7 times 7 is 49,000 years in heaven. How long did Hazrat Adam live in heaven before he was sent to earth? It wasn't much. It was probably days, maybe days, maybe hours. It's hard to tell because there's not a sense of time in the narrations, but it's not going to be more than hours or days. Iblis spends 49,000 years in heaven. What does he learn? Nothing. He worships Allah for 49,000 years. What does he gain? Nothing. He did sajda in a way that one of his sajdas would last for 5,000 years. I can't even do a sajda for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes your knees start hurting. Well, maybe I'm just getting old, but you young people can. And then ankle starts hurting, and then this starts hurting, and then neck. 5,000 years. This guy has passion. Some kind of passion. I don't know what the passion is for. Obviously we find out that the passion was more for himself. But what is it telling you? The story is telling you that Iblis was given power as well. Allah gave Iblis power. He was made not only to pray among the angels, he was giving lectures to the angels. Giving lectures. That means, don't always be impressed by everybody who's giving lectures, who knows? He was giving lectures to the angels. It is said that on the day in which he gave his transgression, where he said that I will not bow to Adam. When he said I will not bow to Adam, the day before he was giving a lecture to the angels. And you know how like rumors spread, and then in the community, like the rumors spread, we see them on WhatsApp, and the rumors spread through the Mu'mineen network or the Mu'minat network, and it's very fast networks, and before I reach Mississauga, the news has already reached from Ajax to Mississauga, this happened, that happened. In the same way the rumor had spread, and the rumor that spread was Iblis found out that somebody tomorrow is going to disobey Allah when Allah gives a command. So Iblis and all the angels, they were talking about this. So when Iblis was giving his lecture, he said, I have heard that tomorrow someone is going to disobey Allah. And then he raised his hands. He said, let me pray for you. Because the angels, when he said this, they started trembling. The very idea of disobeying the angels caused them to go pale and tremble in fear. Iblis saw their fear. He looked at them and he said, okay, don't worry. I'll pray for you. And he raised his hands and he did dua. And his dua, it is said, was that, oh Allah, let not these angels before me be from the one who is going to disobey you. The problem was Iblis didn't do dua for himself. So that's why I try to learn from that. If I ever do a dua for the mu'mineen, I make sure that I'm always including myself in it, because I am in need of dua. And therefore, Iblis, in his arrogance, he said, now you're fine. But he happened to be the one who disobeyed. And so, what is wrong? How are you disobeying Allah? That means in 49,000 years of worship in heaven, in doing sajda, you know how you would do sajda? He would be walking around and he would say, oh, I haven't done sajda here. So then he would do sajda there. I don't mean literally here. Then he would go somewhere else and say, I haven't done sajda there. Then he would do sajda there. Then he would go somewhere else. He traveled. Allah gave him power to travel to different worlds and do sajda on every single spot of land on that planet, and then go to another planet. This is dedication. I mean dedication to himself, but it's dedication. Because I'm happy enough just doing sajda at home on my musalla. That's fine with me. And if I get the power to go to planets, I don't know what I'll do, but maybe I'll go and look for mineral resources. I heard we need more lithium on Earth now because we're running out. So let's go to Mars and get some lithium, right? That's what they're trying to do. So we would go looking for resources. Are you going to go? Are you going to go on a rocket, go to Mars and do sajda there? As soon as you get there, is that going to be the first thing? I haven't done sajda here yet. Let me do sajda here. So there's a certain enthusiasm in him. There's he's putting in a lot of effort, and it's thousands of years of effort. Nothing compared to how much ibadat we will do in 70 years. But he gained nothing from it. Gained nothing. No sense of obedience. So we see that ibadat should teach you ita'at. Ibadat should teach you obedience. And the problem is that, like we said before, when Allah is not going to come before you, He's not going to give you commands, so then you don't have to obey Him. But His hujjat, He's the one who's going to stand before you and say, do this. Now there's someone telling you to do something. Your mom is going to give you commands, and now we have to obey. And that's not easy to do for someone who is arrogant. So when Iblis was asked, what stopped you? What stopped you from doing sajda to the one that I created with my two hands? He said, Ana khayrun minhu, I am better than him. So this was the problem. Iblis considered himself to be better. Hazrat Musa has been given a lot of power as well. I mean, Iblis was given life until a certain predetermined time. It is said he will be killed after the Zuhur. So he was given life to the Zuhur. And that means he's been around for at least 7,000 to 10,000 years, if we count from the time of Hazrat Adam to now, this recent history. If he's been around for 7,000 to 10,000 years, he was also given children. Children is power. People, when they have children, they have a big tribe, they are powerful. He was given 2 children for every 1 child of Adam. So when you were born, Iblis got 2. When you were born, Iblis got 2. Each of you have caused Iblis to get 2 more children in a way. Of course you didn't cause it. It was Iblis's own demand. He said that I want this. And Allah said take it. So Iblis was asking from authority and mulk as well. He said, I want this, take it. You want long life, you want 2 children, take it. And I want to be able to whisper into the minds of humans, in men and women. I want to be able to whisper into their minds. Allah said, take it. So he took all this power, and then I'm better than him. So this is the problem. Hazrat Musa at one time, alayhi salam, was told by Allah. And he was told, oh Musa, I want you to go, and I give you a week. In 7 days, I want you to come back having found someone that is better than you. So Hazrat Musa took this task seriously. He said, Allah has commanded me. I have to find someone better than me. So Hazrat Musa had 7 days. He spent the whole day from morning till night looking in his town. And everybody he looked at, he's just like, sorry. I said it the other way around, didn't I? What I meant to say was, Hazrat Musa was given the order to go and find somebody that Hazrat Musa is superior to. The other way around, excuse me. So let's start over. Allah said to him, O Musa, go and find someone that you are better than. So Hazrat Musa went around his town, in his neighborhood first. No, this guy's better than me. This guy's better, this guy's better, this guy's better. Then he went out of his town, going to the next village, looking around, observing everybody. But everybody who looked at, he found good qualities in. So he said, this person's better than me. So after the 7th day, he didn't know what to do. He was frantic. And he tried harder. But then he had to run back to where he was supposed to meet Allah and speak with him. So he went back. And as he went back, he bowed his head in shame. He said that I haven't fulfilled my task. And then Allah said to him, Allah said, oh Musa, why are you alone? I told you to find somebody that you are superior to. Find someone that is lower than you. And he said, oh my Lord, I looked for 7 days. I could not find anybody that I am better than. At that time Allah said to Musa, oh Musa, if you had found even one person and said that you were better than them, you would not be my Nabi. You would not be Ulul Azam Nabi. You would not be Sahib Kitab. You would not be Sahib Mu'jiza. So therefore, that humbleness that comes, that inherent humbleness is very important. And it's not easy. That means when we hear the fazail of Hazrat Abbas, for example, what do you feel? What do you feel when you hear his fazail? What comes into your heart? Do you feel pride and joy at how amazing he is? Do you feel love increase within you? Do you feel that you should learn from his loyalty and his courage and his generosity? all these feelings you get are not the feeling of jealousy. Have you ever felt jealous of Hazrat Abbas? This is a serious question. Serious question. And I know you're going to say, no, of course not. That's ridiculous. But I want you to think about it for a moment. Is it possible? Is it possible that someone could listen to the Fazail and say, oh man, I wish I was Abbas. I think I could do a better job. Right? You've never ever thought that, ever, have you? But you know what Iblis thought when he was there at the Arsh and he looked at Hazrat Adam? He said, I am better than the Hujjat of Allah. This was the Hujjat of Allah. And then Allah asked him, Astakbarta? Have you done takabbur? Am kunta min al-aleen? Or are you from amongst the aleen? Aleen is basically the plural form of Ali. There's aleen, there's Ali, and there's Ali. It is said that there was this discussion between Amir al-Mu'mineen and Bibi Sayyida. And in that, there were some words that were exchanged where Amir al-Mu'mineen said that I am this, and Bibi said, and I am this, and he said, I am this, and she said, I am this. And it's a very, very long muqalama. And I don't mean to bring all of it out right now, but it is pretty interesting. You know, and it starts with Amir al-Mu'mineen looking at Bibi Sayyida, and somewhere in his wisdom he felt that this was important to do, and we see why at the end of it. He said, oh Sayyida, do you know that your father, the holiest messenger, my brother, loves me more than he loves you? And Bibi Sayyida smiled, and she knew that he was in a manner trying to get her to speak, and so she said, how is that possible, O Ali, that he loves you more than me? Am I not the fruit of his heart and the light of his eye? Am I not his only child? How is that even possible? Not possible, O Ali. And then Ali said to Bibi Sayyida, come, let's go and ask the holiest messenger. So both of them went to ask the holiest messenger. This is in a book called Al-Fadail. The writer, the compiler is Shahzan bin Jibra'il al-Qummi. He is from 660 al-Hijri. So he's about 800 years back, and he writes this book called Al-Fazail. And then what happens is they go to the Holy Messenger, and Bibi Sayyida says, oh father, my beloved father, yes. Do you know what Ali is saying to me? It's very strange. Can you please clarify? And he says, what does Ali say? She says, Ali is saying that you love him more than you love me. And he looks at her and he says, oh my dear daughter, Anti ahabbu ilay wa Ali a'azzu ilayya. He says, my beloved daughter, you should know that you are the most beloved to me, and Ali is the most respected by me. The most love I have is for you, and the most respect I have is for Ali. So he answers in a very, very safe way, you could say. At the same time protecting them both, you know. The interesting thing is that in some narrations, you know, it has been mentioned that Imam Ali is the hub of Allah. He is the hub of Allah. That means he is the love of Allah. That means if you love Ali, you love Allah. That means that the love of Allah will be manifested through your love of Ali. That means you prove your love to Allah by showing your love to Ali. At the same time, it also says that in some narrations that Bibi Sayyida, she is the izzat of Allah. She is the respect of Allah, the izzat. So in a way, before the Holy Prophet, there are two beings. One of them is the love of Allah, which is Ali, and one of them is the izzat of Allah, which is Bibi Sayyida. And I noticed that the Holy Prophet's answer was in a way that when he looked upon the hub of Allah, he said, I have the most izzat for you. When he looked upon the izzat of Allah, he said, I have the most hub for you. So you see that his answer basically was truly just, and he ends up maybe stopping discussion, but not really. Because then Amir al-Mu'mineen looks at Bibi Sayyida and smiles, and he says, see, did I not tell you? Ana ibnatu Fatimat al-Taqa. He said, did I not tell you that I am loved the most? I am, after all, the son of Fatima, the one who is with taqwa. And Bibi Sayyida looks at Amir al-Mu'mineen and says, oh Ali, Ana ibnatu Sidratul Muntaha. I am the daughter of Sidratul Muntaha. And then he says that, you know, I am the one who was born in the place that no one else had the honor of being born in, the highest place, and I was born in the Kaaba. And she says, oh Ali, I am the one whose wedding took place upon the Arsh and upon the earth. And then he says, you know, Ana It's actually there's about 90 sentences in this back and forth. Ana. And of course we don't have time for all of it. But at one point, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Ana shi'ati min ilmi yasturun. I am the one whom Shias take my ilm and they write books with it. And she says, oh Ali, Ana min bahr al-ilmi yaghtarifun. I am the one who is the ocean of knowledge from which Shias come and take a few drops. Then he says, oh Sayyida, Ana alladhi ishtaqallahu ismuhu fahuwa al-ali wa ana Ali. And then he says, I am the one whose name Allah has derived from his own name, for he is Ali and I am Ali. Ali is spelled An, Alif, Lam, Ya, and Ali without the Alif. So he takes out the Alif, he says, he is Ali and I am Ali. And then she says, Wa ana kadhalika, and I am like that too. She says, Fahuwa Fatiru wa ana Fatima. He is Fatiru and I am Fatima. Then Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Ana hayatul arifin. I am the life of the ones who are arifin, the ones who have ma'rifat. I am their sustenance and the source of their life. And she says, Ana maslaku najatir raghibin. She says, I am the one, anybody who wants nijat, they make me their deen. They make me their religion when they want the nijat on Yawm al-Qiyamah. And then he says, Ana kanzul ghina. I am the one who is the treasure of the wealth of Allah. And she says, Wa ana kalimatul husna. And I am the beautiful words of Allah. Then he says, Ya Fatima, ana bitabullahu ala Adama fi khatiyatihi. I am the one because of whom Adam was able to do tawbah to Allah. Because we know that when Hazrat Adam was told not to go near the tree, he went near the tree. And when he went near the tree, then after that transgression caused Hazrat Adam and Bibi Hawa to be sent to earth. And Hazrat Adam, when he came back to earth at that time, that tree is very important and its significance. One time somebody came to the Imam and said, what was the tree? I have heard it was an apple tree, the man said. I have heard it was a wheat. A wheat is not grown on trees, but he said wheat. I don't know, in heaven anything can happen, I guess. Maybe even wheat and potatoes will come down from trees like apples. So he says, I heard it was a plant of wheat, I heard it was an apple tree. What was it, O Master? And then Imam said that it was all of that. He said that it was not just a tree with wheat and apples, it was a tree of all fruits. And he said, but that was not the significance. The significance was the main source or the main spirit of the tree. And he says, what was the main meaning of the tree? And he says, it was the tree of the honor and esteem of the Ahlul Bayt. That means the tree represented the azmat, the respect, the honor and majesty of the Ahlul Bayt, meaning that Hazrat Adam was basically told that you are a great person, you are the first human, you are Abul Bashar, you are the first prophet, you are Nabi, you are Khalifa, and you are going to live in heaven, but know that you should not think that you can ever approach or try to compete with the might and majesty of the Ahlul Bayt, for they are the original ones from whom, for whom, and from whom, and by whom everything was created. So therefore do not try to match them. So that was why Hazrat Adam ends up on earth. Then when Hazrat Adam is on earth, he is in great grief and he is crying. Quran says, وَتَلَقَّى آدَمَ مِنْ رَبِّهِ فَتَابَ عَلَيْهِ. And then Adam was given some words of forgiveness, how to ask forgiveness from his Lord, and then Hazrat Adam asked for forgiveness. So he wasn't sure. You see, Hazrat Adam faced many firsts that no one else had faced. For example, when Iblis beguiled Bibi Hawa and Hazrat Adam into approaching the tree, he lied to them. And when he lied to them, he told them that if you want to live in heaven forever, you got to eat from this fruit, otherwise you won't get to live here forever. That's your permanent visa. So Hazrat Adam thought he was on a visitor visa. It's kind of like someone visits Canada and they want to live here and they're told, well, if you go do this, then you can live here. So Hazrat Adam had not heard of, first of all, Hazrat Adam was lied to that he was only there temporarily. Allah was not going to remove him if he did not go near the tree. So you see, Hazrat Adam faced the first lie. And that lie was not something he had experienced before. So he was not expecting anybody to lie. And that is why he was tricked by Iblis. So therefore, it taught us a lesson that watch out. You have to watch out for lies. And then Hazrat Adam also had not done a transgression, so he didn't know what am I supposed to do? How do I do tawbah? He was very sad, he was crying, and then it is said that Amir al-Mu'mineen came to him and said to him that, "O Adam, why do you not ask for forgiveness from Allah?" And he said, "How should I ask for forgiveness?" And he said, "Adam, take the 5 names that you took when you entered into heaven." So he said the same 5 names, the names of the Panjatan, and he said, "Oh Allah, forgive me for this, for my transgression," and Allah forgave him. So Hazrat Ali is saying that Ana bitaballahu ala Adama fi khatiyatihi, I am the one for whom, because of whom Adam was able to ask forgiveness from Allah. Bibi Sayyidah says, "Wa ana bi qablallahu tawbatahu," and I am the one because of whom Allah accepted the tawbah of Adam. That means Bibi Sayyidah is the medium for nijat and shifat and forgiveness. And then after that, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, "Ana kasafinatun nuh faman rakibaha najah." I am like the Safina or the Ark of Noah. Whoever is able to come upon this will be in salvation. And she says, "Wa ana usharika fid da'wa," and I am the same as you. I too am the Safina of Nuh. And then he goes on to say, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, "Wa ana tufanuhu," and I am the storm of Noah. And she says, "Wa ana sawratuhu," and I am the strength and power of that storm. Then Amir al-Mu'mineen says, "Ana tur," I am Tur. Tur is the mount upon which the light of Allah was said to shine when Hazrat Musa went to say that I would like to see your nur, O Allah. So the light that shone on Tur. Amir al-Mu'mineen is saying, I am Tur. And then she says, "Wa ana kitabul mastur," and I am the book in which Allah has written His knowledge. And then he says, "Wa ana saqful marfu," I am the elevated roof. The highest roof is the roof of Baitul Ma'mur, which is said to be above the 7th heaven, which is said to be the house of the Ahlul Bayt. It is said that your status in heaven will be based upon your nearness to that home. That means that as lovers of the Ahlul Bayt, as Azadar of Imam Hussain, our goal is not to get into heaven. Getting into heaven should be very easy for you. You've already gotten into heaven, because if you cry a tear the size of the wing of a fly, Allah has guaranteed you heaven. So you are in heaven. Your goal is to get closer to Baitul Ma'mur. That means that in, like in any city, there is the prized property and territory. There is the road that everybody wants to live on, or the land that is the most expensive, highest taxes, biggest houses, most number of garage doors, maybe a water fountain and a nice round driveway. So you want a house that is closest to the Ahlul Bayt. And that is what is in our ranks. And of course, in Jannah, there's multiple dimensions, so it's not like they have 4 houses surrounding them, that's it. You got to get one of those 4 houses, or you got to get within that neighborhood. There is infinite capacity, but the thing is that the status is needed. So he says, "Ana saqfil marfu," I am the elevated roof of the elevated house. And she says, "Ana Baitul Ma'mur," and I am that house. She's saying, I am Baitul Ma'mur, because the house is defined by its lady, and she is the lady of the house that is called Baitul Ma'mur. And then Amir al-Mu'mineen says, "Wa ana saqfil marfu, ana rakkin manshur," I am the page that was shown to everybody, the page upon which is written the knowledge of Allah, and that was shown to everybody, that is me. And then she says that ana bahril masjur, and I am the ocean that contains the knowledge of Allah, that has the highest waves. Have you read Du'a Ahad? In Du'a Ahad, you talk about Bahril Masjur, wa Rabbil Bahril Masjur. Have you read Du'a Nur? In Du'a Nur, some of these terms come up, in which, it is said that وَأَنزَلَ النُّورَ عَلَى الطُّورِ وَالْبَيْتِ الْمَعْمُورِ وَسَقْفِ الْمَرْفُوعِ فِي كِتَابٍ مَسْطُورٍ fi rakkin manshur. All 5 of these terms are found in Du'a Nur, and Du'a Nur is given to you by Bibi Sayyidah, and that is why she is saying, Ana Baitul Ma'mur, Ana Kitab al-Masjur, Ana kitab al-mastur, ana bahr al-masjur. So when you look at these, what you see is that in this, Amir al-Mu'mineen gives Adam the words to say to ask Allah for forgiveness. Bibi Sayyida Shifa'at is causing the forgiveness, and of course now they come to earth. But when you look upon what Iblis did, you see that Iblis was in a situation where he was not able to bow down and obey. That means Iblis's main issue was, we were talking about the Aleen. That's where I went to Ali, and that's where I started talking a little bit. I went off course, coming back onto course. So when it is said, Am kunta min al-Aleen, that means, are you from amongst the elevated ones? Oh Iblis, because what happened is, Iblis saw that every angel present is doing sajda to Adam. The Noor that is in the Arsh is not doing sajda to Adam. And Iblis was jealous because they weren't, and so he wanted to say that I'm like them. I'm like them, so why should I do sajda if they're not doing? That's why Allah asked him, Astakbarta? Have you done takabbur? Am kunta min al-Aleen? Or are you from the Aleen? That means the Aleen, if they don't do sajda to Adam, that is not takabbur, because they are higher than him. But oh Iblis, you are lower. If you don't do sajda, that is takabbur. And Iblis then he admits it. Ana khayrun minhu, I am better than him. And Allah says, you are not better than him. فَخْرُجْ مِنْهَا فَإِنَّكَ رَجِيمٌ وَإِنَّ عَلَيْكَ لَعْنَتِي إِلَى يَوْمِ الدِّينِ. Be gone from here, you are the accursed one, you are the stoned one, and my curse is upon you. You are devoid of my mercy until the day of judgment. So Iblis leaves, why? Jealousy. Iblis is jealous of the Ahlul Bayt. I know that it's hard for a mu'min to even conceive of being jealous of the Ahlul Bayt, but were there people jealous of the Ahlul Bayt in Medina? Coming back to the verse that I recited 2 days ago, and now I'm going to come back to it. Alam ta'alam. This is Surah Baqarah, verse number 107. I want to spend a few minutes on 107, 108, 109. I may not have time today to complete it, but inshallah we still have one more day, if I remember correctly. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alam ta'alam. Do you not then know? Anna lahu, that there is for him, who? Allah, mulk as-samawati wal ardh, the mulk of samawat and arz. Now this is the highest level of mulk. We have said that some got min al-mulk, like Hazrat Yusuf, some got mulk, like Hazrat Talut and Hazrat Dawood, and we said that some got mulkun azima, the great mulk, like the children of Hazrat Ibrahim, and some are going to get mulkus samawat wal arz, dominion over the heavens and the earths, and all that is in between. This is complete control and dominion of every particle that exists in any universe that is present. So he says, Alam ta'alam anna Allahu lahu mulku samawati wal ardh. Do you not know that only for Allah is the mulk of samawat wal ardh, wa ma baynahuma, whatever is there. And then he goes on to say, wa ma lakum, and there is not for you. So Allah is saying that for me is the mulk of samawat wal arz, wa ma lakum, and not for you. What is there? Min waliyin wala nasir. Nor is there for you a wali, nor is there a nasir. So what we see is this verse is telling you that Allah's is the mulk of samawat and arz, Allah is the wali, and Allah is the nasir. Now Allah also himself said earlier, as we saw in our beginning days, that قُلِ اللَّهُمَّ مَالِكِ الْمُلْكِ, He is the owner of the mulk. At the same time, He says that لَمْ يَكُنْ شَرِيكٌ فِي الْمُلْكِ, no one is sharik in His mulk. But then He also says that يُؤْتِي مُلْكُ مِمَّنْ تَشَاءُ وَتَنْزِعُ مُلْكُ مِمَّنْ تَشَاءُ. He can give the mulk to whom He wishes, He can take it from whom He wishes. So is it possible that He is going to give the mulk of samawat and arz, dominion over and control over all of the universe, to anybody? And then we see that He says, and there is no wali for you other than me, and no nasir. So that means vilayat and nusrat. These two become tied with mulkus samawat wal arz. Now there's three things in this verse, 2:107. There is mulkus samawat wal arz, and there is vilayat, and there is nusrat. And the question is that if he is going to give one of these things to everybody, then he will be giving all three things to somebody. That means if there's anybody who is receiving vilayat and nusrat, he has received mulkus samawati wal arz. That is the key. So, did he give vilayat and nusrat to anybody? We already recited the verse previously as well, and you know it very well anyway. It's written on your heart. إِنَّمَا وَلِيكُمُ اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الَّذِينَ. That indeed, Allah is your wali, and the Prophet is your wali, and Imam Ali is your wali. So if Allah is saying that there is no wali for you but me, but then he says, and these two are also your wali, then he is saying that only I am the owner of vilayat, and I will decide who is the wali and who is not. And as people, we do not get to choose. So therefore, whoever is the wali is also the nasir, and whoever is the nasir has been given mulkus samawati wal arz. Now I'll continue with that a little bit tomorrow, but I want to go on to the next verse because I want to spend the last 5 minutes just on what our topic has been today. And then it goes on to say, Am turiduna an su'ila Musa min qabl, wa man yataqabbal al-kufra bil imani faqad dhalla sawa as-sabil. He says that, do you not know that I am the wali, I am the nasir, and the mulka samawata is mine? Or are you trying to ask a question as Musa was asked in the past? Are you trying to ask the same question that the people of Musa asked to Musa? So this I found very interesting. It made me a little bit curious. Am I causing you to yawn a bit? That's okay, just take some deep breaths. I apologize if I'm boring you. That was not my intention. And then he goes on to say, turiduna an tas'alu rasulakum kama su'ila Musa min qabl? Are you trying to ask the same question that was asked by Musa? So I wondered, what was asked by Musa? And I looked in the Quran and I tried to find a question the people of Musa had asked to Musa. And in Surah Baqarah, you will find this question. In Surah Baqarah, Bani Israel comes up to Hazrat Musa and says, and the verse says, وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا Musa, and when you said, O Musa, لَن نَصْبِرَ عَلَى طَعَامٍ وَاحِدٍ, we will not be able to be patient on just one food. فَادْعُ لَنَا رَبَّكَ, then ask your Lord for us. يُخْرِجْ لَنَا مِمَّا تُنْبِتُ الْأَرْضُ مِنْ بَقْلِهَا وَقِثَّائِهَا وَفُومِهَا وَعَدَسِهَا وَبَصَلِهَا. Then ask your Lord to give to us from the earth some cucumbers, some garlic, some onions, some lentils, and so that we stop getting bored. They asked for 5 food, some sabzi, some dal, and some tomato. They asked for 5 food, and they said that we're bored of one food. You know what the one food was that they were getting? It was coming from heaven. It was manno salwa. They were getting food from heaven, and they ate it every day, and then after a while they're like, oh, this is boring now. We need something else. Time for a change. They didn't want the food that was from heaven. Instead, what they wanted was something grown from the earth. So I found it interesting because when I counted, it said, min baqliha wa kithaiha wa fumiha wa adasiha wa basaliha. They mentioned 5 things. And they said, we want 5 things from the earth, we don't want from heaven. And I found that interesting because in a way that's kind of what happened with the Prophet's community. Because in the Prophet's community, we see at the time of the holiest messenger in Medina, there are 5 beings from heaven. They are the Panjatan-e-Pak. And you'll see that the Prophet leaves them and he says, Inni tariqun fikum ath-thaqalain, I'm leaving you my offspring, I'm leaving you my book, so take them. But you see that the Muslims did not want the ones from heaven. Instead, they wanted the ones that were from the earth. It's the same thing that Bani Israel did. They didn't want food from heaven, they wanted food grown from the soil. And these ones said, we don't want leaders from heaven, we want what's grown from the soil. But why did they do that? In the Quran, Allah said that hasadan. I won't have time to complete the whole verse. I'm just going to read one statement from there, one word, and then we'll move on and continue tomorrow, inshallah. Hasadan min indi anfusihim. There was jealousy that was hidden deep within them. That means that when it came to the Ahlul Bayt, I know it's not conceivable for a moment to even imagine that, and it may have never even crossed your mind. I've talked to people, and they're shocked. They say, no, that's not possible. How can someone be jealous of Imam Ali? I said, no, they were. They were jealous. They were jealous, and jealousy is such that eats them from within. They could not stand to hear the praise of Imam Ali. They were jealous of the Panjatan. They were jealous of everything. They were jealous of their nearness to the Prophet. They were jealous of their appearance, how handsome they were, how strong they were, how brave they were, how honest they were, how courageous they were, how selfless they were. They could not tolerate it. They did everything that they could. Karbala did not start when Yazid sat on the throne. Karbala started when the holiest messenger in Makkah said, "Qulu la ilaha illallah." When he said that, Karbala had begun. At some point, if life permits me, I would like to maybe discuss that history, because sometimes our young ones think that Karbala is something that just happened out of the blue. It was planned from the beginning. It was not Yazid, nor his father. It was his grandfather. It was 3 generations. It took 3 generations for Karbala. And his grandfather's generation was jealous of the Prophet. His father's generation was jealous of Imam Ali. And then Yazid's generation could not tolerate Imam Hussein. And this enmity started in Makkah and then went to Medina. And then from Medina, we see it going to Karbala. And the jealousy and the hatred was such that even when they saw Hazrat Abbas, they were not seeing Abbas, they were seeing Ali. Do you know that he was the exact replica of his father from head to toe? His height, his majesty, his valor, his eloquence, his lion heart, his bravery and courage in the battlefield. He was a replica of his father. And when the enemies of Ali, and why was Karbala fought? Because Islam was on both sides. Salat was on both sides. Hajj was on both sides. Quran was on both sides. Jum'ah, Salatul Jum'ah. They were saying, quick, you must take the head of Hussein. It is time for our Salatul Jum'ah. It is said that in Yazid's army, whatever the number is, be it 70,000, 140,000, 900,000, whatever the number be, the books say there were 400 who were Hufaz Quran. They were the Hafiz of the Quran, and they used to lead Salatul Jummah. 400 of them who came onto the battlefield with their sticks. You know the asa that they will hold to do the khutbah of Salatul Jummah? They came to hit the grandson of the Prophet, the one who taught them Salatul Jummah, the one who gave them Jummah, the one who held the asa when he gave the khutbah. They took replicas of that asa to beat Imam Hussein with? What was different between them? You know what was different. Imam Hussein asked them, and he said, "Why do you fight me? Have I taken something from you? Have I wronged you in some way? Have I disobeyed the Sharia of my grandfather? Have I disobeyed the laws of Allah? What has caused you to rise up against me to kill me?" And they said, "It is our hatred for your father." These are Umar ibn Saad's words, written in history, undeniably written. Bughzan li abik. It is the bughz, the hatred that we have for your father. Imagine when Hazrat Abbas came onto the battlefield. Imagine how they would have felt when they saw Hazrat Abbas, and they would have trembled with fear. But then when they saw that Hazrat Abbas was not brandishing a sword, he had not come to fight, he had come to get water. When Bibi Sakina came to her Chacha and said, "Oh Chacha, Ali Asghar is very thirsty in his crib, and I do not think that he can survive long without water. Chacha, is there any way that you can bring a little bit of water, a few drops for Ali Asghar?" And Hazrat Abbas looked at Sakina and said, "Yes, I will. Give me your mushk. Let me ask your father." He took the mushk of Sakina and put it on his shoulder. When he put it on his shoulder, that was the moment that he became one with the mushk. Even today, wherever you see an alam, somewhere nearby you will find a mushk, a sakina near it. This is the time when alamdar personified the thirst of sakina and the mushk of sakina. And then he took his niece in his arms and he went to his brother. And he said, "Oh master, please give me permission to go and get water." And Imam Hussein said, "My dear brother, you are the general of my army. How can I let you go?" Hazrat Abbas said that, "What army is left, O master? There is no army left. Everyone has gone. Our children have gone, our elders have gone. Abbas and me and you are alone. Now who is left? Let me go to the battle. Let me go to the river and get some water." And Imam Hussein said that, "Abbas, you know that this is not the time for you to fight." He said, "Master, I will not fight. I will just bring water." And he said, Go, my brother, go." And it is said that Sakina stood with her chacha. Sakina stood with her baba, And when she stood with her Baba, she watched her Chacha going. And this was the Chacha who had fulfilled every will and desire of Sakina ever. Whatever she ever wanted in Medina, she never asked anybody. She always came to her Chacha Abbas. And she said, Chacha, I want this, and I want this, and he always fulfilled it. She could not fathom that it would even be possible that Hazrat Abbas would not come back. And as she saw Hazrat Abbas going, she saw that the alam was heading towards the river. And then she told the children, you know how many children were about Hazrat Bibi Sakina's age? From Bani Hashim, who left from Medina. It is said in books that it was from the number of 55 to 65 children, aged 5 and under. 5 and under. You know how many left Medina? 55 to 65. You know how many came back to Medina after Sham? One, and that is your fifth Imam. That is your fifth Imam who came back. What happened to the other children? They died on the way. On Sham-e-Ghariba, some were trampled by the hooves of the horses of the enemy. On the way to Kufa and Sham, it is said that some fell out of the laps of the mothers because they were just sitting in the mother's lap and the mother couldn't hold them because her hands were tied behind her neck. It is said some were trampled in Sham-e-Ghariba, some died along the way, and Sayyid al-Sajjad made graves for every little baby that died along the way. And they were all from Awlad Zahra, they were all from Bani Hashim, they were all from Awlad Sadat. It is said that all of them were standing there as they watched the alam of Abbas go towards the river. When Hazrat Abbas reached the river, he held his breath and he said, do not let the moisture of the river come into my breathing, for Ali Asghar and Sakina and my master, they are thirsty. As he bent down to get water into the mushk, it is said the alam could not be seen. It had also bowed down with Abbas and Bibi Sakina. When she could not see the alam, she turned to her father and said, my dear father, where is the alam? I do not see my Chacha anymore. And Sakina was told by her father that he is getting water. Do not worry, Sakina, you will see the alam now. And then he saw the alam, and the alam was coming towards Sakina. And she turned to the children and said, look, my Chacha is coming. He is bringing water for you. Do not worry, my Chacha comes. But it is said at that time one arm of Hazrat Abbas was severed. One arm was severed, and when that arm was severed, the alam started to fall again, and Hazrat Abbas grabbed the alam with the other arm and he corrected himself. But when the alam was falling, at that time Sakina said, I do not see the alam, where is the alam? And Hazrat Imam Hussain looked to his daughter and he didn't say anything, but he simply bowed his head and said, the arm of my brother has been severed. And then it is said that the other arm was severed as well, and the alam started to fall. But Abbas did not let the alam fall. Do you know why these children hold the alam high today? It is because Abbas never let the alam of Imam Hussein's army fall. That is why today we made a promise, O Abbas, till the Yawm al-Qiyamah, for the last 14 centuries, your Shias and your lovers have kept your alam up high in the sky because you never let it fall. It is said that finally when the mushk was pierced with an arrow, at that time Abbas saw that the mushk and the water was flowing out, and he said, I will not be able to get water to Sakina now. And he said to his horse, turn me back towards the river. Why should I go to the camps when I do not have water? It is said that he was turned back, and then when he fell to the floor, it is said that someone had hit him from the back with such a blow. Every martyr who came to the floor would stop themselves with their hands as they were wounded. But Abbas's hands had been severed, and it is said that he landed upon his holy face. Upon the plains of Karbala, Imam Hussain went to get Hazrat Abbas, but he only came back with the mushk and the alam that was filled with blood. فَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ لَا لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ. مَاتَمِ حُسَيْن مَاتَمِ Abbas.
Sick. Uncle? Mike? زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی ہو یا کربل ہو یا کربل دی وجودا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی اجوی بنت حسین روندی ہے 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 ہاتھ میرے کے تو جدا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی سر تو زینب تے لے گئی چادر 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 جادو مقتل نو تر پیا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی کیوے جاوانگی شام تے کوفہ 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 میں کما ملتے ابا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی چے جگہ تو حسین چونیا ہے 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 پھر بھی پورا نہ مل سکا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی میری چادر خدا پا پردہ ہے میری چادر خدا دا پردہ ہے میری چادر خدا دا پردہ ہے میری چادر دادا پردہ ہے ہائے میری چادر دی تو بخا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی آنکھیں ام البانین دس زینب آنکھیں ام البانین دس زینب اب آنکھیں ام البانین دس زینب آنکھیں ام البانین دس زینب زین تو آکی والتا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی زہرا جایا داسرا غازی ہاشم راج راج حسین کو مارے ہاشم راج راج حسین کو رے ہاشم راج راج حسین کو مارے ہاشم راج راج حسین کو مارے جند دئی نہیں رے غازی رجایا داس غازی رجایا داس غازی یا حسین
یا حسین اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے۔ سر پیٹ کے شہ کہتے تھے میں رہ گیا تنہا، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے۔ رخ سوئے نجف کر کے کہا سبت نبی نے، کس موڑ پہ چھوڑا ہے مجھے میرے اخی نے، تم کرب و بلا آ کے ذرا دیکھو تو بابا، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے۔ جب خالی علم نہر سے لائے شاہ مظلوم، رو رو کے یہ کہتی ہے دل ہو گیا مغموم، بتلائے کوئی مجھ کو میں اب جی کے کروں کیا، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے۔ ہر سمت ہی پھر چانے لگی غم کی گھٹائیں، محسوس یہ ہوتا تھا کہ روتی ہیں ہوائیں، آتے ہوئے دریا سے یہ جب کہتے تھے مولا، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس
میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے۔
فرماتے تھے شہ میرے برادر چلے آؤ، ان بچوں کی تم آ کے ذرا پیاس بجھاؤ، خود سوچو کہ میں پیاسوں سے یہ کیسے کہوں گا، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار
نہیں ہے،
اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا
علمدار نہیں ہے۔
ہم شیر سے یہ کہتے تھے اے زینب دلگیر، خیموں کا محافظ نہ رہے ہائے رے تقدیر، یہ سوچ کے دل ڈوب رہا ہے میرے بہنا، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار
نہیں ہے،
اے اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار
نہیں ہے۔
ڈھارس تھی بڑی مجھ کو تو عباس کے دم سے، وہ پاس نہیں خود کو میں سمجھاؤں یہ کیسے، پردیس میں اب کوئی نہیں میرا سہارا، اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار
نہیں ہے۔
اب پاس میرے میرا علمدار نہیں ہے۔
متوجہ زیارت۔ السلام علیک یا ابا عبداللہ، السلام علیک یا ابن رسول اللہ، السلام علیک یا ابن امیر المؤمنین وابن سید الوسیین، السلام علیک یا ابن فاطمة الزہراء سیدۃ النساء العالمین، السلام علیک یا مولاي وعلى انصارک مستشہدین معک جمیعا ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ، السلام علیک یا غریب الغرباء، السلام علیک معین الضعفاء والفقراء، السلام علیک مغیث الشیاط والذوار فی یوم الجزاع، السلام علیک یا انیس النفوس، السلام علیک المدفون بأرض الدوس ابو الحسن علی ابن موسى رضا وراز بالقدر والقضاء، السلام علیک یا صاحب العصر والزمان، الامان 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 من فتنة الزمان، السلام علیک خلیفۃ الرحمن، السلام علیک مامسی والجان، السلام علیک شریک القرآن، السلام علیک قوم الکفر والطغیان، السلام علیک الضعف والظلم والعدوان، اجل اللہ فرجک وسهل اللہ مخرجک ودہورک، والسلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ